Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twin Talk and Wellness Wednesday. And we are back for another week of wellness. And as you can see, then Sarah's still here with me, and Sherry is not. And so we're continuing to practice the social distancing for the COVID-19. We're wishing you all well. Please wish us well, and let's get through this together. So we wanted to come today because, well, actually just for the Wellness Wednesday, but because we also had this thought about something that we are seeing a lot in social media right now. And Sarah, what is that?
A lot of food posts about food.
There are a lot of people who are foodies just like us. So there's a lot of talk like, oh, I go to the fridge every, 15 seconds or 15 minutes. And so a lot of us are wanting to turn to food in our time of social distancing.
Yes.
And actually, honestly, it makes sense for the South a little bit because a lot of things that we do traditionally surround food.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our family traditions are people gathering around the table, and just having good family conversations. So we're all here as a family or with whoever, and you're just trying to get through this. But more than anything, it's not just the wanting to go to the pantry. It's like serious, like munchies going on. You just get this urge to eat.
Yeah.
Aren't you doing
Yeah,
it?
same.
And so you're like, what is going on? Because the odd part is that you're not changing your food habits up. It's not anything with that. It's almost like that you consume the same amount of food that you normally would, but it just feels like you're like starving. What is the deal with that? So it's real. It is real. And we are dealing with it. And so we thought that you probably are too. So here we are all talking about this together. Sarah, and this is what is really interesting. I mentioned that she graduated in December with her degree in community health. And I'm in emergency management, so we're considering this an emergency, okay? Emergency conversation. And we've got the subject matter experts here that's going to tell you, because we are actually one of the clients too in the whole process. So Sarah, what is when you started school, because you just graduated, the whole conversation around freshmen, what do people say?
About gaining the freshman 15.
Freshman 15. We've all been there. Did it happen to you? I know it happened for me my freshman year of college.
It's stressful. You want to eat.
Yeah, you're away from home, and it's a new environment, and so it's kind of like what we're doing right now. Even though some of us are confined to our homes, we're not doing our normal routines of being out and about and being active. So we're turning to something, and a lot of it's food. So we're here to talk about that today and address it. And Sarah and I, well, let me tell you this though, before I say that. So Sarah mentioned the freshman 15, right? So now you hear a lot of people using the term the COVID-19, not referring to the virus, but to the 19 pounds or COVID, like 20, now we're in 2020, the COVID-20 that we're all going to gain by the time this is all done and over with. So one of the social media influencers that I like to follow, she's really funny. And so she said, especially because women, and I'm not leaving anybody out, if you like to wear the leggings, a lot of us like to wear the blousy shirts with leggings. And so she says, ladies especially, do not wear leggings 7 days a week. At least make one of those days a day where you put on a pair of blue jeans, okay? And why do you think that is, Sarah?
So you make sure they still fit.
Make sure you're not going to be surprised in 2 weeks after you haven't tried them on and they're not fitting anymore. So stay ahead of the game a little bit. So,
right.
So Sarah and I mentioned the Munchies, right? So we have a go-to food for us that's comforting, that helps relieve stress. And what is that, Sarah?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Who doesn't like a good chocolate, right? And I know that a lot of us like it in different forms, in dark chocolate or semi-sweet or milk chocolate. What is your favorite? Drop it in the comments and tell us what you like, okay? We like dark chocolate, and so we're going to talk a little bit about the difference in those and how we've used it to relieve a little bit of stress and anxiety. And so Sarah, first tell us, what are the benefits? There are some good benefits to chocolate. So what is that?
Yeah, so something you may not know, I didn't know this, is that the nutritious part of chocolate is the cacao. So if it has a higher percentage, it's going to have greater benefits for your body. Then some other things, it reduces blood pressure, it raises HDL, which is good cholesterol, it improves brain function, and it can release happy endorphins because it's just something we enjoy.
So in its natural form, it is actually very healthy. It has vitamins, minerals, polyphenols, and what was the other one?
Flavonols.
Flavonols. And so those are all good for us in that natural form. So we're going to kind of go through the different stages that we all may consume chocolate. This is going to be really fun because we're going to start from where it comes from the bean, from the tree, right? And then we're going to move and show you what some of us may be more familiar with eating it. So I'm going to grab one and Sarah's going to hold one. So what you would see when it comes off the tree, if you've ever, I've actually seen a cacao tree and they're really cool, okay? And so, but this would be what would come off the tree, but they would have taken it and ground up a little bit. So it's really coarse. What Sarah has is the same cacao, but it is actually ground into a powder. And so I want to show you this and this, the cacao. So it's called nibs, cacao nibs, okay? And so I want to show you a little bit. So I'm going to give Sarah a couple here so we can show, get enough in my hand here. And this is, like I said, it's really coarse and it's not something you want to cook with, okay, without it being ground because it is not going to melt like the chocolate that you're familiar with, okay? And so it's more like a little, it's like to me, I honestly, coming from the South, it's not hard like that, but we have a lot of pecan trees. And you know when you're shelling the pecan and you get that little pieces of shell, that's actually what it kind of reminds me of. So you can eat these, and they're actually very, very crispy. It has a nutty taste, but I tell you, if you don't like dark chocolate, this is going to not probably be very pleasing to your palate.
Bitter.
It is very bitter. So the next, so you saw what Sarah showed you. We showed you the two, so you got it in the. This is its natural when it's been ground up, and then into coarsely ground, and then this is finely ground into a powder, which you can use for baking, putting into maybe a shake or something of that with a sweetener, okay? Because it's very bitter.
Yep.
The next, you would go from the powder form into this, excuse me, thank you, Sarah. So this here is a baking bar. This is 100% cacao, okay, but it's in more of a liquidy, that's not probably a word, but liquid state, okay? Because this, it would melt down into whatever, you can grind it up, put it in a blender and grind it into small pieces and put it in your baking whatever
you need a sweetness
that you would want a sweetness because it is bitter. The next stage up from this, that actually where you can consume it, you could eat this. You're probably not going to like it, okay? Because it doesn't have any sweetener at all. The next is a 92% that you can find, but then I didn't have the 92%, so the next from this would be like an 86%. Now, personally, I like the 92%. I think you've eaten the 92, right? It's not your favorite. I think you like this one.
No, it's a little more on the bitter side. This is more where I start to.
So this is where probably most people could start tolerating if you don't like bitter type foods, is you would probably do okay with the 86%. But I've seen people that don't really even like this. So you have to, you know the kind that you do like. So we went from the nib to the powder to the bar, okay, and then this one here. Now, when you start getting into the 92 and 86%, the difference is the fat that started to be added to it, okay? And so the further we get away from the cacao bean, or the more that you're going to see things being added to what you're eating. Okay, so the next one would be, Sarah's going to hold this one up. What do you have there, Sarah?
This is the 60%
Okay.
cacao.
And so we've got 86%. We went from 100%, and I said there's a 92, and then the 86, and then Sarah has the 60. Tell us what's in the 60%, Sarah.
Okay, so the 60 is unsweetened chocolate, cane sugar, cocoa butter, milk fat, soy lecithin, and vanilla extract.
So this even has vanilla extract in. And now I will tell you one thing I didn't mention. When you get into these bars, the 92, especially the 92%, there's something called alkaline. If you want to stay like in a more of a healthy form of chocolate, going on the darker side of it is don't get the alkaline in the bar, okay? This one doesn't have alkaline. And so then you've got this here, the 60%. Well, again, you're getting more sugar is starting to be
sweeter.
added to the product. And so, of course, it's going to be sweeter than the one that is darker, okay? So, but I actually really like these. And we'll honestly eat more, probably just a couple of these, because I don't get this as often, 86. This is my preference over... It's my preference as far as if I'm just going to eat chocolate is 86%. This is. But this is probably more of what I end up eating because it's around more because we're using it to bake. Okay? This is like, you could ground these up to bake with, but that's the one we eat more. So then we go from this, I'll hold this one. So Sarah, why don't you tell them what that one is?
This is the semi-sweet.
So then we go from a 60% to a semi-sweet, or then you also have, it may be a milk chocolate before this, but I don't remember. But so the difference, okay, the first ingredient on this one is unsweetened chocolate, okay? Then they're adding a little bit of sugar to it. Sarah, what is the ingredients on that?
The first ingredient is sugar, and then it's chocolate.
Sugar. You are getting sweet chocolate flavored sugar. Okay, that's what you're getting.
Yeah.
Because the first ingredient that is listed is what is highly in the actual product. Okay, so you have sugar in this. So if you're going to really eat chocolate, you don't want to go any more than 60%, any less dark than 60%. Okay, if you really want to be consuming chocolate. The further you get away from 60%, the less that you are really eating chocolate. Okay. Now, what is interesting though, this bag right down here, it actually says 100% chocolate. But that's not what the first ingredient says. It is sugar first. Where does chocolate actually fall in?
It's the second ingredient.
Okay. So, it's the second one, but still, the fact that sugar is the very first one tells you you don't have as much chocolate in this one as you're going to have in this. Okay. So then, this is the interesting. So you've probably decided by now, and you're saying, oh, I'm a dark chocolate person. I'm a semi-sweet chocolate person. I'm a milk chocolate. Well, then there's some of us, or some of you out there, this is not me and Sarah, because this is not my, who say, oh, I'm a what? A white chocolate person. I just like everything white chocolate. Well, guess what? You're not eating chocolate. There is absolutely no chocolate in white chocolate, okay? It's just the consistency that is very similar to what we are familiar with in the chocolate chips. Okay, so Sarah, why don't you tell them what's in this ingredient? I was holding it upside down? No, okay. So they just got the ingredients.
Okay, so the ingredients are sugar, palm kernel oil, whole milk powder, non-fat dry milk, palm oil, soy lecithin, and vanilla extract.
What word out of that are we missing that we've been talking about this whole time?
Chocolate.
Chocolate! There is no chocolate! No. So, if you're saying you like white chocolate, you can like white chocolate, but it's not chocolate, okay? It is a white chip that is yummy goodness. It is fun to kind of dip strawberries and different things in. So, but anyway, so that's what Sarah and I do like to use it to de-stress a little bit. And I can just even you can get these and this in single squares. And I purchased those, and you just have one square just on the go or whatever. You're having maybe you haven't had lunch or whatever, and you just need something to hold you over. It's something that's rich and yummy.
Yeah. Just
maybe not eat the whole bar, okay? At one time, or even the whole bag. of the
Even though I
chocolate.
could.
So there you go. That's our talk for today. But we wanted to say, because it is real. The munchies are real. And it is a weird phenomena. It really is how our bodies react to stress, that we want to eat or turn to something. And I think Sarah and I, we were having this conversation. We just don't want our something that we turn to take us into a dark place. We are all under stress right now. COVID-19 is real. But we don't want those anxieties or unsure, where we're feeling unsure about life and things that are going on, to take us down a path that we're going to actually end up not feeling good about ourselves when this is all done, okay? So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's just us all getting there together. So in all seriousness, because Sarah is a community health graduate and then has her bachelor's degree, and then I also am an emergency management professional, and we're talking about anxiety. This is real, and we do want to let you know that there is a national disaster distress hotline if the chocolate doesn't work, okay? Or if you're leaning towards something else that's not working right, that there are individuals who are willing to listen. And so we want to give you that number that you can call. We'll make sure to put it in the description, but it is 1-800-985-5990, and that is the National Disaster Distress Hotline. We'll put it in the comments and in the description so you have that. But thank you, everyone. Hopefully you can make tell us your yummy recipes that you're making with your chocolate, okay?
Yep.
Or how you like to eat chocolate. So thank you so much. And we will be joining you again on Wednesday.
Friday.
Fun
Friday.
And we'll have Eliza with us probably then too. So thank you all. Stay safe and know that we're thinking about you. And thank you for supporting us. Again, like and share our videos, and especially on YouTube, click the subscribe button and that notification bell, and you'll be told every time that we have a new video that comes out.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good day, and we will see you on Friday. Bye.
Bye.